Hello, people of this great planet called Earth in English, Terra by the Sky people, and Bhuloka in the Sanskrit language. Uh, I'm creating this little clip to share my experience and research on what is generally known as third eye or the Agnya Chakra in the Sanskrit literature. Basically, it doesn't matter who I am. I mean, suffice to say that I live somewhere in India. Uh, the reason, I mean, this clip is going to be divided into many sections. First, I will be talking about the reasons why I'm doing this clip, and then the research on the third eye or the Agnya Chakra in general, and then of course my personal experiences. That's the real value of this clip. uh, and my other information you can find elsewhere as well. I'll give references as much as possible. And then of course what I think is the big picture that is happening in this so-called planet. Okay, let's start with it's going to be really informal, so don't never mind if I don't sound coherent. Let's start with the intro. Why I'm really doing this? Of course, based on my research, I found that lots of information is available everywhere on the internet, in books, etc. Of course, the so-called gurus also talk about some of the stuff I'm going to talk about. But the problem is it's not coherent for somebody who is not newly awakened, quote unquote, uh, to find information regarding especially the so-called third eye. So that's why I thought I will collate all my research and experience in the last 10 years or so. Uh, okay, let's get started. Okay, what is exactly the third eye? Of course, we live in this physical, so-called physical plane. Of course, this is not the only plane that is available. The old literature talks about there are seven levels of existence. It's curious that the internet has seven layers of application architecture. For the folks who are techies, they know it. Seven seems to be the number of creation. It appears everywhere, in, wherever the creation process is involved. So no wonder there are seven layers of existence. You can research on that. I'm not going to get into what are the seven layers of existence. You can just research on the internet. I mean, the point is the physical plane is not the only plane. So this chakra, the so-called chakra system, is basically a level you can call a level above, even though there is nothing called above and below. I mean, just for the sake of expressing it in a language and calling it above. Above the physical plane, generally known as the astral plane. So this chakra system is the energy system which operates in the astral plane and which basically animates the physical plane. Without that, everything will fall apart. I mean, nothing will stay together. The body, for example, the human body cannot stay together without these energy uh, vortices. We generally refer to as chakra system. There are the most famous chakras are the seven chakras. I will not even name them except for the third eye chakra because a lot of information is available on the seven chakras. But those are not the only chakras that operate the body. There are innumerable other chakras all throughout the body. These are the major seven centers of energy vortices. Just keep in mind that these are not the only seven. There are other vortices all over the body. So these astral bodies have energy vortices, and you need a connection mechanism to connect these vortices. They are known as the astral nerves. The Sanskrit language calls them the nadis or the astral nerves. These astral nerves are the equivalent of the physical nerves the body carries. Their function is to, of course, communicate between these chakras. So there are certain numbers of these astral nerves that connect the various energy centers we call as chakras. For example, in the old literature, in one of the old literatures, it is said that there are 729 what you call the energy, oh no, sorry, 729 astral nerves that connect the Muladhara chakra, the base chakra, to the crown chakra, or in Sanskrit language it's called Saraswati chakra. So this is the reason there are 729 petals in the Saraswati chakra. So basically, there is a reasoning behind the number of petals in the chakra system. For those of you who have researched a bit on chakra, know that there are a certain number of petals which look like petals. They are not actually petals, flower petals on each of the chakras. But there is a reasoning behind that. The reason is based on the number of astral nerves that connect together on that particular chakra. The energy gets twisted in that form, and then we see it as a number of petals, which are not actually petals. They are geometric patterns uh, which express themselves. For example, the third eye chakra has two petals. The reason for that is there are two major nadis, or astral nerves. They are known as Ida and Pingala in the Sanskrit literature. These two connect at the third eye chakra. That's why you see two petal like forms in the third eye chakra. And these two main astral nerves connect, and then the third one shoots up into the crown chakra, and that's known as the Sushumna. That's a silver card, commonly known as silver card in the English literature. Whenever out of body experience happens, or you astrally travel, the silver card is the one that connects the astral body to the physical body, which is basically the Sushumna in the Sanskrit language. So that's where it connects us to the beyond, the other six layers, if you would. So all this is generally known. Uh, so what the reason, one of the reasons I'm doing this clip is uh, connecting all this information together. So if you look at the research part of it, the most famous research was done by Rick Strassman, an American author. He has written a book called DMT, the God Molecule. Basically, he did research on the pineal gland, which is the physical implementation mechanism for the third eye chakra. So the chakra is basically the astral unit, and then the pineal gland in the center of the brain is the physical implementation of that mechanism called the third eye chakra. So this pineal gland research was done by Rick Strassman. He says that the molecule that is the chemical molecule that is responsible for creating the mystical experiences is called the DMT. which stands for dimethyltryptamine. Let's not get into the formula business of that. It's basically a physical implementation for uh, projecting the information from the astral world into the physical world. So you need a projector, right? You need a projector and the light involved to project the information. Let's not get into the exact working of the pineal gland. We'll get into it later, because research done by another researcher. So this Rick Strassman concludes that this molecule is responsible for the experiences that are encountered. Let's leave it there. There's another researcher called David Wilcock. He's also an American researcher. So he is into a lot of contacts with people who are involved in so-called secret projects done by the largely by the U.S. establishment. So he has a source who is nicknamed as Daniel. So he has given him a lot of information. Of course, David Wilcott has had his own set of mystical experiences. So many years ago, he did a YouTube video called 2012 Enigma. You can look it up in the YouTube. It's called 2012 Enigma. In that, he covers the mysteries of the pineal gland to a greater length. So, in nutshell, I'll say what he's trying to explain. So, basically, he says that this pineal gland is an implementation of the it's basically a transformer of the information from the astral into the astral or beyond the other six layers of existence into the physical, because otherwise the conscious mind cannot comprehend the information that is coming through. So what this pineal gland does is it's basically a shield from electromagnetism that is commonly encountered in this or in this physical reality. It shields the pure water inside from the electromagnetic disturbances. So when that happens, basically the water flips over into the other reality or the astral plane, and then information is transmitted from there. How exactly it's done, nobody knows. And then the information has to be projected onto this into a form where the brain can understand. So what happens is this DMT molecule we talked about is kind of the transformer of that information, and then it projects onto there is a retina-like structure inside the pineal gland as well. So it is transformed and projected onto that screen. I mean, what exactly happens inside that molecule, that's beyond my pay grade. So at least that's in nutshell how the pineal gland operates. Of course, normally we don't see the projections in our waking consciousness state. Of course, the dreams uh, are possible only because of the pineal gland. In dream state, we get to see the workings of the pineal gland, but in waking consciousness state, we don't see the projections unless the pineal gland is activated to a large extent, which happened in my case. We'll get into my experiences later. So this is the research I mean, done by David Whitcock on the pineal gland at least. Of course, he has a lot of other research done which you can go through by just searching for David Wilcock on the YouTube. I mean, there's a reason why I'm bringing up this. We'll talk about it later. Uh, so coming to my personal experiences around 10 years back in 2004, I mean, I started seeing weird colors appearing in the vision, and then dots of lights. seeing pixel kind of lights. Uh, I mean, if I concentrate on the center of the head, so then the experiences change in terms of I started seeing real projections that are coming beaming out of the forehead with my eyes, physical eyes wide open. The projections could vary between anywhere between seeing images of insects or images of your ancestors or people whom you don't even know. All sorts of images starts projecting randomly. It's randomly. Mostly, it projects as soon as you get up from a sleep. It need not be necessarily that way. Even during the waking state, sometimes randomly it projects some images. And then as the time went on, I guess the activation got intense. And then the third eye started receiving the uh, the images, the information out there in the world. Suppose I see a computer screen or something like that. So and then I look upon the wall next to that. The image of the computer will get projected there. Basically, what it means is third eye is picking up the images from the physical world. Not only it is projecting the information out, but it was picking up the information as well from this world. And then I see not the exact image, but a negative, a photographic negative kind of image getting projected for the information received from this physical world. So basically, the point is it was not only transmitting the information, projecting from the other worlds, but also it was receiving information from this world. I think that's how it stands even today. So as you move along, if the activation intensifies, you will start seeing other chakras too getting projected. Of course, all these are random. You cannot control what you see. Uh, the other chakras getting projected through the third eye, the structure of the other chakras. I mean, you can see sometimes some demigod kind of beings also show on the projections. Uh, so basically, you cannot control what you see. It is what it is. Whatever comes, you see. I mean, these are all the way in which it evolves, the activation evolves. So after that, recently I have started seeing the astral nerves flowing through the forehead. Not only in my forehead, I see it on the foreheads of all the people I see, either in the real world or images on the TV or on the computer, etc. They appear as dark patches initially, and then you can see the actual nerves branching out, etc. As you go along. Uh, so you'll start seeing those things on the forehead of the people you see. Of course, on your forehead also, if you view it on the mirror or etc. So these are basically, in my opinion, they are the astral nerves. You see the astral nerves getting projected through the third eye. So some of the problems you will encounter is these are related to primordial energy called Kundalini energy. Kundalini is a Sanskrit word, of course. People call it as serpent energy in the English language. So this Kundalini energy is the one that is a primary energy. It's an impersonal energy. There is no personality attached to it. All the personalities come out of that. All the demigods of all the religions come out of that. Let's not get into that business. But I mean, suffice to say that it's an impersonal energy. There is no personality attached to this energy. So this impersonal energy is what pierces through the chakra system and operates the body and everything else. Of course, the planet has its own chakra system. Uh, this is besides the point. The point is Kundalini energy as it evolves and flows through the body reacts to that, the body and the mind, of course. In the case of third eye, what happens is all your feelings get exaggerated. If you are feeling of joy, you will feel really joyful. There is a little bit sorrow, the sorrow will get exaggerated. If there is a little bit guilt, you will have a very big guilty feeling. Even if you say accidentally stepped on somebody, normally you will say sorry and forget about it. But if the third eye is activated, you really feel bad about it for a week or something like that. So basically, your feelings, emotions, etc., will get exaggerated, good or bad. So that is one thing you have to deal with if your third eye is activated. That's a side effect of it. You really know it when you feel it or when you experience it. So you should be aware that all these are exaggerations and try to control your emotions. Uh, yes, apart from that, the feeling of wonderment will be there. Whenever your third eye is projecting, it will disappear moment after a few seconds. So if you want to continue to look at it, or if you want it to be there for more than few seconds, your sense of wonderment should slowly go away. Because as soon as you wonder, wow, what is that? It disappears. But if you see that those projections without the sense of wonderment, it stays there for a bit more time. So you'll know what you can see what you're looking at for a bit more time. It is easier said than done, but with practice you can achieve that. That is one thing important because these projections normally, at least initially, they disappear as soon as they appear, maybe a couple of seconds. So you will not be able to make out what those projections are. It could be anything. The projections could be images or anything. That's the experience part of it. Then, I mean, the, then I thought I will touch a bit on the big picture as well, what exactly is happening. Some kind of energetic changes are definitely happening for many, many people around the world. So most likely, based on my research, most likely reason for that is some unknown energies or hitting this planet, both on the outside and the inside. There are many theories about it. The Christian people talk about the rapture during the end times. I really don't know whether we are in the end times or not, whether we will get raptured. But one thing is for sure is many people the astral I mean, is seeping into the physical definitely for sure. The more many people are able to see or sense and have meaningful coincidences all the time, which were happening rarely earlier. Uh, so that's definitely happening. If there is no denial about that. 2012 has something to do with that. Possibly yes, because these things are happening around that year. So this is a general time frame. People have talked about that major changes could happen in terms of the evolution of the mankind. Uh, I don't know what happens next. What happens when fully turned on or chakra system will do to the human body. I think because without the planet itself evolving, the human body cannot cope with these changes. So either your body will give up, meaning you will fall dead without reaching the pinnacle of that evolution, because the planet cannot just support a new type of energy flowing without the planetary body itself undergoing some changes. So people are talking about planet itself undergoing changes. Of course, I'm not qualified to talk about how much it's evolved. Uh, so I mean, that is the link between the two. You cannot evolve without the planet evolving. If that happens, the body will give up for some time. It cannot hold it. So hopefully this information is useful to you. Maybe based on the response, I may do a follow-up video. Thank you.